Welcome back to Narcissism Freedom, your calming space for healing, growth, and clarity after narcissistic abuse. If you're new here, welcome to the community. We share tools, insights, and spiritual encouragement to help you reclaim your peace, power, and purpose. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you find this video helpful. Feeling drained and undervalued at work? You might be experiencing narcissistic abuse. But don't worry, this video will equip you with the knowledge to recognize the red flags and strategies to navigate this challenging situation. The workplace can be a breeding ground for narcissistic abuse, especially because it often rewards power, control, and performance over emotional intelligence and empathy. This environment gives narcissists the perfect cover to operate without much accountability. Narcissistic abuse in the workplace can leave you feeling confused, isolated, and constantly second-guessing yourself. It can make you question your competence, your worth, and your sanity. But the truth is, it's not you. It's the toxic dynamic. So, what exactly is narcissistic abuse in the workplace? It's a pattern of manipulative behaviors used by someone, often in a position of power, to dominate, belittle, or control others. This can include a boss, a colleague, or even someone you manage. While many workplaces can be stressful or demanding, narcissistic abuse goes beyond the normal pressure of a professional environment. It is psychological warfare masked as leadership or collaboration. The difference between a difficult boss and a narcissistic abuser can be subtle but crucial. A difficult boss may have high standards, poor communication, or a harsh management style, but they are usually capable of giving fair feedback, acknowledging effort, and collaborating when needed. A narcissistic boss, on the other hand, thrives on control, belittlement, and manipulation. They rarely praise others, take credit for your work, and use fear or confusion to maintain dominance. The impact of this kind of abuse is deep and lasting. It can erode your self-esteem, destroy your confidence, and leave you constantly walking on eggshells. You may begin to feel emotionally exhausted, anxious, or even physically ill before heading into work. That's because your nervous system is constantly in fight-or-flight mode, trying to protect you from psychological harm. Over time, you may begin to normalize this treatment, blaming yourself for not being strong enough or good enough. But recognizing the red flags can help you take back your power. One major red flag is gaslighting. This is when the narcissist denies or distorts facts to make you question your reality. For example, they might deny giving you certain instructions or blame you for something they themselves did. Over time, this can cause you to doubt your memory and judgment. Another red flag is triangulation. This happens when a narcissist brings a third person into the dynamic to manipulate or create conflict. They may compare you to a coworker to make you feel inferior or falsely claim others have complained about you to isolate and discredit you. This tactic keeps you off balance and dependent on the narcissist's version of events. Excessive criticism is also a hallmark of workplace narcissistic abuse. While constructive feedback is part of any job, a narcissist uses criticism to break you down rather than build you up. Nothing you do is ever good enough. They may ridicule your ideas, nitpick your performance, or undermine your credibility in front of others. And the worst part? They often hide behind the excuse of just being honest or trying to help. So, how do you protect yourself? The first step is to set healthy boundaries. Learn to say no when appropriate, and avoid over-explaining or justifying yourself to someone who clearly lacks respect. Boundaries aren't about being rude. They're about protecting your mental and emotional space. If a narcissist is used to walking all over people, they will resist your boundaries. Stand firm anyway. Second, document everything. Keep a written record of interactions, including dates, times, and what was said or done. If you're in meetings, follow up with a written summary and email. This paper trail could become important if you ever need to escalate the issue to HR or legal support. Third, seek support. Isolation is the narcissist's greatest weapon. Find someone you trust, whether it's a mentor, coworker, or a friend, who can help you stay grounded. You might also consider joining a support group or speaking to a therapist who understands workplace abuse. You are not weak for needing help. You are strong for seeking it. And most importantly, prioritize your mental and emotional well-being. No job is worth your sanity. You were not created to live in survival mode every day. Take time to reconnect with yourself outside of work. Whether it's prayer, meditation, journaling, or walking in nature, nourish your spirit and remind yourself that you are worthy of peace. Remember, you are not alone. Narcissistic abuse in the workplace is more common than people realize, but it often goes unspoken because victims fear being labeled as sensitive, weak, or unprofessional. The truth is, recognizing toxicity is a sign of emotional intelligence. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. If you feel overwhelmed, seek professional help. A licensed therapist or coach who specializes in toxic work environments can offer tools tailored to your situation. Sometimes an outside perspective is exactly what you need to reclaim your clarity and confidence. As you begin to heal and regain your strength, you'll find yourself able to navigate the workplace after abuse with greater wisdom. Understand your rights as an employee. You have a legal and ethical right to work in an environment free of harassment and manipulation. Don't be afraid to speak to HR, especially if you have documented patterns of mistreatment. Know that moving on and thriving is not only possible, it's your divine right. Sometimes, leaving a toxic job is the best decision you'll ever make. God never meant for you to live in constant fear or confusion. For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. That's 1 Corinthians 14, verse 33. Let that sink into your spirit.
Peace is your portion.
Even if you choose to stay, know that your power doesn't come from them. It comes from within. It comes from the Spirit of God who gives you discernment, wisdom, and strength. Isaiah 54, verse 17 reminds us, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper." That includes emotional manipulation and psychological warfare. You are not here to shrink yourself for anyone's comfort. You are here to shine, to lead, and to walk boldly in your purpose. Let this experience be a teacher, not a prison. The more you understand about narcissistic abuse, the more you empower yourself and others to rise above it. If this video spoke to you, leave a comment with the number 777 as a sign that you're reclaiming your peace and power. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Narcissism Freedom. Every view, like, and share helps us grow this community of healing and spiritual strength. You deserve peace. You deserve joy. And you deserve a workplace that honors your gifts. Until next time, stay grounded, stay discerning, and remember, freedom is your birthright.